Hi, I'm back. I have no excuse, honestly. I just suck at remembering to do videos consistently. But let's start where we finished off. So I finished telling you about my car and the tire and all of that. And then on Thursday, I ran a few errands and did a few things for work. And then on Friday, I had a last minute, and this is the 25th and 26th. On Friday, I had a last minute thing that I had to do because this table needed to be picked up for one of for an installment that needed to be done on the 27th. And they were closed on the 27th, so I wouldn't have been able to pick it up on Saturday. So it had to be picked up. Usually not a big deal. My car is pretty big. I can put the seats down and I've usually got a lot of room, but when that doesn't work, my dad has this white truck and he uses it very rarely, usually like once a week. So I just make sure I ask permission and I add fuel to it because that's the considerate thing to do when you're using somebody else's vehicle. And so I text him and I'm like, hey, I need to go pick something up and drop it off somewhere else. And he's like, okay, that's fine, whatever, I'm not using it. So I finish doing the stuff that I'm doing in my car, and then I go to start his truck and it's not working. And it's an older truck, and it could be anything. And so I figure maybe something's locked. You know, sometimes it'll lock up, and so you have to like press really hard on the brake to unlock it, or jiggle the Prindle. Sorry, that's the first thing that came into my head. I know that's not what it's called, but I can't think of anything else right now. The thing that shifts gears. So you jiggle that and then it unlocks and you can turn it, whatever. Well, apparently this truck is a little bit different, and it was the steering wheel that was all locked up and whatever, but you have to actually release the steering wheel and move it to unlock it. I've never had to do that in this truck before, so I didn't know, and I only had it's already later in the afternoon, and the guy is always done by like 5, so I had to be out of there within the next half an hour to get to the place on time to load it up before he left. So I'm like, I don't have time to deal with this. I'm just gonna go rent a truck from like U-Haul or whatever and go and do this errand. Has to be done. And so I started calling around, and originally I was going to just get a truck from Home Depot because they're usually pretty good about trucks and mileage, and it's not super costly. None of them in the area have any trucks available, or the one that did have a truck available, their computer system is down, so even though it's available, he wouldn't be able to process it to rent it out to me in time. So I go to U-Haul, and for long cross-country trips, U-Haul has been great. But sorry, I just got a text. U-Haul has been great, but for just in town stuff, they kind of suck. Like, they charge you you can always see it on the truck, it's like $20 a day, but then they charge you an arm and a leg for every mile that you go, and I'm like, oh, but no options are left for me. So I go and I get the truck, and I tell the lady I'm in a hurry, and she's really nice about it. And okay, it's not a truck, it's a van. It's one of those big cargo vans though. So I go I've got the van. I drive straight there. I found the shortest route possible because I'm like, least amount of miles I can possibly get. I pick up the big ass table that wouldn't fit in my fucking car, and I pull out and I go to drive down the street to go drop it off, and this kid runs through a stop sign. Now, he kept saying, well, he didn't speak English, which is fine. He had somebody there who came and interpreted for him. But he kept saying, and this is drives me freaking crazy. He kept saying, I stopped at the stop sign. Okay. But like, if you stop at the stop sign and then just go without making sure that the people that have the right of way, because I didn't have a stop sign, it wasn't a 4-way stop, it was a main road that I was going down this way, and then he's coming this way and turning, and he has stop signs on both this street, going this way and going that way. Does that make sense? I feel like that should make sense. So I don't have any stop sign. I don't even have a slow down. It's a main road. He has a stop sign. He's supposed to stop, and then when there's no cars going that way or that way, he can turn and get onto the main road. No problem. That's how stop signs work. But he stopped, and then he just proceeded to go. And I saw him right out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, oh, he's got the stop sign. Because I've done deliveries, gone and picked up stuff, and had to deliver places from there before. So I'm familiar with the road, but it's not like a road I go on all the time. And I slam on my brakes, but it wasn't enough. Slammed right into the side of me. And he hit the side, and then his car sort of bumped the front, like spun and bumped the front too. His car was total. And I say his car, but it was his friend's car that he was borrowing. Poor guy. And totaled. The axle on the front tire was all fucked. And the tire was like sideways. Horrible. And that was on Friday. And I still have to go and drop this thing off. Luckily, I have the keys to the place I was dropping it off. And as long as they're by Saturday to be installed, it wouldn't have been a problem. So I'm like, damn. Of course, this is my luck. And I call 911 and say, hey, I was just in an accident on this corner, and they're like, okay, we've gotten a report of that. And I was like, I'm in a U-Haul, so I need a police report. Luckily, I did the $10 coverage for the damage, otherwise I would have had to pay it out of my insurance, and that would have sucked. So that happened on Friday, and I waited a half an hour after the call, just sitting in hot ass Arizona sun, and waited for the cop to get there, and then he gets my information, and he gets the kid's information, and he gets the vehicle owner's information, who shows up about 15 minutes after the cop showed up, which it's been about 45 minutes since the accident. And his little friend interpreter person is there as well, and they're just all sitting in their house. I'm like, it's too hot for this shit. So I'm like waiting for everything in the car with the air conditioning on. It was mostly superficial damage, a little bit of like things will need to be replaced on the U-Haul, but not nearly as bad as his car, which for sure needs body work. And don't know about the engine, but I would and I wish I'd gotten pictures. I'm sorry I didn't. But if the engine was fucked, then the car's just a lost cause. And yeah, so I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm like, this is taking forever. And I still have a couple other errands that I have to run that I wanted to get done on Friday so that on Saturday I didn't have as much to do, because I had just my normal work, which usually takes 5-6 hours, depending on if there's any extra stuff that I have to run. And there was still, and then I wanted to get a really good night's sleep because I knew I would have a full day on Sunday, because of the traveling down to Benson. By the way, I am back home, and I am in my youngest brother's room because it is quiet, and my room is right next to my stepmom's office, and she's been on and off calls, and she doesn't know about these videos. The only person that does know is my youngest brother, and that's just like a just in case thing. So I was like, hey, can I use your room? I'm not gonna pan because it's a little bit of a mess, but and also I don't think me would appreciate that. But it's not actually too bad. No, it looks better. It looks way better than it did 2 weeks ago. It had a huge pile in the middle of the room of just random ass crap that needed to be gone through. But it's always so quiet in his room. Always so quiet and nice. And so that's where I'm at right now. Frack, what was I saying? Oh, so because it was taking forever to get the police report and to get all the information and all of that, my dad was getting off of work, and I was like, hey, can you check the truck? And if you can get the truck to start, can you come meet me here? Or call me if you can get the truck to start, I think is what I said. And so he got home and he was able to get the truck to start, and I was like, okay, hey, can you meet me here? Because this is taking forever and I need to have this delivered, and I still have other things that I have to do. And so because he's just the most helpful, he came and he loaded up the big table that needed to be delivered into the truck, and then I gave him the key to the place, and he went and he dropped it off in just the front lobby area that it needed to go to, and did that for me while I finished up there, and then went to the U-Haul and dealt with the U-Haul. And that $10 coverage, I had to pay the $150 deductible, which is way less than whatever the repairs were gonna cost. And then hopefully that's actually something I might get back if they can get, because the accident was the kid's fault, if they can get his insurance to cover that $150 fee, they'll refund me the $150 deductible, which would be really nice, because I mean, $150, that's quite a few hours of work. That's like half a day of work, and while I already paid it, it'd be nice to get that back. And so then after that, I went and did the 3-4 other errands that I had to do that night. And then I got home and I updated them and told them about the U-Haul and the deductible and all of that, and then to my family, because they were still awake. It's like 9:30ish, and then I went to bed because I knew I had to be up early, and then I slept through my alarms on Saturday. Not a great idea, but oh well. So I got a late start. Went and did my 5-6 hours of work, and then came home, finished getting the last couple things ready, and then I went to bed super early because I knew I had to get up at like 4 in the morning on Sunday, and so that's what I did. And then on Sunday the 29th, hold on, now I have to math. Okay, so the 25th was Thursday, 26th was Friday, 27th was Saturday, 28th. Okay, so on Sunday the 28th of August, I drove down to the Sierra Vista Benson area where my client lives, and it's about a 3-hour drive, usually 4 hours because I have to stop halfway and charge. But I started pretty early. I got up at 4, did my usual stuff, got ready and all of that, and then I drove down there, and then we did a little bit of work, and honestly the whole week is mostly a blur. Like, I remember certain things but not necessarily what day they happened. So I know on Sunday we unloaded any of the food stuff that I had gotten on Friday, and that's what I was doing after the accident. Is I went around to the grocery stores that they don't have down there, and I got the specialty things that she needed, and yeah, so we unloaded the grocery stuff, and we sort of made a game plan for the week and what we were gonna do, and did a few smaller things, I think, and then I went and I checked in at my hotel, and yeah, that's pretty much it for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the next video will be what I remember from the week from all of the projects that we did, and I'll do some pictures. Speaking of pictures, I do have a couple pictures of the U-Haul that I will post right here. See, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't horrible. More inconvenient than anything else. And I'll post pictures of some of the... I didn't really take any before pictures. I always forget to take pictures. I really need to remember, because my friend is creating a website for me, and oh, my friend has this business. It's called Tailored Webs. It's amazing because she's awesome, and she's creating a website for me, and it will be amazing. But I need pictures for the website, and so I'm trying to remember to take pictures. I forgot to take the before pictures, but I remembered to take after pictures, so I will post a couple of those in the next video so you can see them. I think it turned out pretty well. I mean, yeah, I'll tell you more about that in the next video. This is already a pretty long video. I think that's it. Yeah. I have to go get Nate from school now. That was the text that I got like 15 minutes ago that I did not respond to, because if I go off of the video, it stops the video, and I didn't want to do that. But whatever.